Justice and power, truth of law or a game of politics. The grand courtroom was packed with reporters, politicians, and common citizens. The case of State versus Aryan Mehta had gripped the nation like never before. It was not just another trial, it was a test of the very foundations of justice. Was the law truly blind, or did it bow before political power? Aryan Mehta, a 27-year-old investigative journalist, sat in the defendant's chair. Just months ago, he had been hailed as a hero for exposing a massive corruption scandal involving Minister Raghav Malhotra, one of the most powerful politicians in the country. Aryan's detailed report, backed by leaked documents and whistleblower testimonies, had revealed how Malhotra had siphoned off public welfare funds meant for rural development. The evidence was damning. Yet, instead of Malhotra facing consequences, Aryan was arrested on charges of treason, conspiracy against the government, and spreading false information. His reports were suddenly declared fake news, his sources were discredited, and a well-planned smear campaign portrayed him as an enemy of the state. Sitting in the courtroom, Aryan looked at his mother, Meera Mehta, who sat in the front row. Her eyes held a mixture of pride and fear. She had raised Aryan to believe in truth and justice, but today, the very system that promised justice was being manipulated against him. The trial had been intense. The prosecution, led by government-appointed lawyer Rajesh Thakur, had presented a series of fabricated emails, financial transactions, and testimonies from individuals who claimed Aryan had been paid by foreign agencies to defame the government. On the other hand, Aryan's defense lawyer, the seasoned advocate Mr. Sinha, knew that they were fighting more than just a legal battle. They were up against an entire political machinery. The courtroom drama. Your Honor, Thakur began, pacing across the courtroom. The accused, Aryan Mehta, is not a journalist seeking truth, he is a man driven by an agenda. He accepted money from foreign agencies to spread lies about a respected minister. This is not journalism, this is treason. The judge, Justice Arvind Kapoor, listened intently. He was known for his integrity, but he also knew the immense pressure on this case. The ruling could make or break his career. Mr. Sinha stood up, adjusting his glasses. Your Honor, justice is about facts, not political narratives. The prosecution has presented manufactured evidence. The real question is, why is the government so eager to silence Aryan Mehta? Why is the accused, who uncovered corruption, being treated as a criminal, while the actual criminal sits comfortably in a minister's chair? The tension in the courtroom was palpable. Minister Malhotra, sitting in the front row with his team, smirked. He knew how the game worked. Law wasn't about right or wrong, it was about power. And he had power. For days, the trial continued, with the prosecution presenting witnesses who claimed Aryan had received foreign funds. However, Mr. Sinha exposed their inconsistencies, proving that they were either government employees or had received large sums of money before their testimonies. Meanwhile, outside the court, the battle had spilled onto the streets. Protesters demanded justice, students and journalists held candle marches, and social media exploded with #JusticeForAryan. The country was divided, some believed Aryan was a traitor, while others saw him as a warrior for truth. A shocking twist. As the trial neared its final days, a dramatic turn of events changed everything. A whistleblower, a former aide to Minister Malhotra, came forward with audio recordings and confidential documents. These recordings contained Malhotra's conversations, clearly discussing how they had framed Aryan to divert attention from the corruption scandal. The documents also showed how fake evidence had been planted against Aryan. The entire nation listened in shock as news channels played the recordings. The court was in chaos the next morning. The judge ordered an immediate forensic verification of the recordings. Within 24 hours, the results confirmed their authenticity. Minister Malhotra's face turned pale as his own words were used against him. His team of lawyers scrambled for damage control, but it was too late. The evidence was irrefutable. Mr. Sinha, standing tall, addressed the court. Your Honor, today we have witnessed the truth. This trial was never about justice, it was about power. The law was twisted, evidence was fabricated, and an innocent journalist was made a scapegoat. But the truth has found its way through the darkness. The verdict. The entire nation awaited the verdict with bated breath. Finally, Justice Arvind Kapoor spoke. This court finds Aryan Mehta not guilty of all charges. Furthermore, the court orders an immediate investigation into Minister Raghav Malhotra's involvement in corruption and conspiracy against a citizen. The courtroom erupted in applause and shouts of relief. Aryan's mother broke down in tears, hugging her son tightly. The journalists present cheered, knowing that for once, truth had won over power. But Aryan knew that this battle was just one of many. The war between justice and political power would never truly end. The powerful would always try to manipulate the law in their favor. As Aryan stepped outside, facing thousands of supporters and flashing cameras, he realized one thing. Justice was not guaranteed. It had to be fought for every single day.